Good morning, students. Today we are going to read the second part of the story How the Camel Got His Hump. Let us recapitulate what we have read till now. The story How the Camel Got His Hump is a story from Rudyard Kipling's collection called Just So Stories. The story is set in Arabia when the world was new and camels did not have humps. The author tells us about the time when man was just beginning to learn the art of domesticating animals. There was a camel that lived in the middle of a desert. He only ate sticks, thorns, and prickles, for they are the only things available in a desert. The camel was so lazy that whenever anybody spoke to him or asked to do anything, all he would say was hump. So the horse, the dog, and the ox held a panchayat on the edge of the desert and complained to the jinn. The jinn promised to look into the matter and teach the camel a lesson. The jinn went in search of the camel. Now, let us see what happened next. The jinn rolled himself up in his dust cloak and took a walk across the desert and found the camel looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. So, the jinn reproached the camel who was looking at his reflection in a pool of water. The camel is looking at his own reflection in the pool of water. He was proud of his appearance, right? So, he liked admiring himself. My friend, said the jinn, what's this? I hear of your doing no work. The jinn sat down with his chin in his hand, while the camel looked at his own reflection in the pool of water. So, the jinn asked the camel about the reasons of his reluctance to work. But the camel did not pay any attention to him and it continued looking into the water where he was looking at his reflection. You have given the 3 extra work ever since Monday morning, all on account of your idleness, said the jinn, and he went on thinking with his chin in his hand. Now, the jinn said that it was expected from the camel to do 3 works since Monday. And asking this, the jinn was thinking why the camel is not attentive to him at all. Hump, said the camel. should not say that again. If I were you, said the jinn, you might say it once too often. I want you to work. Now, when the jinn was waiting for his reply, the camel in turn said Hump. At this, the jinn got very angry and he says that he does not want to hear that hump from him. He just wants to know the reason why he was not working. And the camel said hump again. But no sooner had he said it than he saw his back that he was so proud of, puffing up into a great big hump. Now, in spite of the jinn's warning, as the camel again said hump, the jinn got very angry because of his adamant attitude, and it annoyed the jinn so much that as soon as he again said the word hump, a huge hump grew on his back. It is actually a favor to him. Now, the camel could complete his work without taking any food or water because of the same hump. So, he asked the camel to join the three and warned him to behave properly. And the camel went away to join the three. And from that day to this, the camel always wears a hump. We call it hump now, not to hurt his feelings. But he has never yet caught up with the 3 days that he missed at the beginning of the world, and he has never yet learned how to behave. So, though the jinn had favored the camel with the hump, because of which he can work for 3 days without eating anything, still the camel is so lazy that still now he cannot catch up with the initial 3 days that he missed at the beginning of the world. The hump at present is the penalty of his past mistake. So, students, what do we learn from this text? We learn that all living things must work and laziness is not a good thing. We should do our work on time, otherwise, we will have to regret it. Now, let us do the comprehension check. Question number 1. The camel was looking at his own reflection in the pool. What does it suggest to you about the camel? The answer will be the camel's looking at his own reflection in the pool shows that he was proud of his appearance, especially his back. He liked admiring himself. Second question. The camel said hump repeatedly. How did it affect him? When the camel said hump repeatedly, despite the jinn's warning, his adamant attitude annoyed the jinn. So he turned hump into the hump on the camel's back. What, according to the jinn, was the use of the hump? The jinn assured the camel that his hump would not create a problem for him while working, since the camel had skipped work for 3 days. He could live on his hump and would be able to work for 3 days without eating. This means that the hump was a kind of food reserve. 4. He has never yet learned to behave. In the light of this, what is the writer's opinion about the camel? The writer is of the opinion that the camel has not changed its nature and habits to this day. It seems that the camel still does not behave himself and walks lazily. It is for this reason that he is still unable to complete the pending work of those 3 days that he had missed earlier, and he continues carrying the hump and living in the desert. Now, let us solve the question of the exercise. Discuss the following topics in the groups. Can this story be factually true? This question requires you to use your own perspective as well as your analytical skill. The answer to the question would vary from one person to another. So, it is suggested that you read the text carefully and try attempting it on your own. Next question. What, according to you, is the story about? Consider the following: how the world began, why everyone should do his or her share of work seriously, how animals are important to humans, how the camel got his hump. Here also, you have to use your own perspective as well as your analytical skills. So, I would like to suggest you to attempt the answer yourself. Third, what did you do over the weekend? Were you generally active or idle? Please check your back before starting to discuss or answer the question. So, students, this question also requires you to use your own words, right? And the fourth one, there are broadly two categories of workers: those who prefer to do today what they can do tomorrow, and those who prefer to do tomorrow what they can do today. Where do you belong? This is not possible for us to know from which particular group our student belongs. So, students, be honest while you will write the answer, right? As all of these are analytical question, so you have to do it yourself, and you can do it in any rough notebook. It will help you for the better understanding of the text. So, students, thank you. Have a nice day.